it.
All right, had a little glitch. All of a sudden we went unlive. I'm not sure why. We got plenty of power, but maybe the wind's playing havoc on us up here in the press box. But Satellite is still in the same district with most of the teams they had last year. I'm going to pull that out real quick because they do have a new addition, which I think is going to be a really good addition to the district this coming year. So as I mentioned earlier, they're in the 3 suburban. There's 4, so that means they're in the second to highest or largest in the suburban. And they still have Merritt Island, still have Rockledge, still have Bayside. They no longer have Titusville or Palm Bay. They dropped down to 2 suburban. They're going to actually be in a district with Cocoa High. But they added O'Galley. I think adding O'Galley is a pretty good step.
Yeah, O'Galley's come a long way too. They've built a good program over there in the past few years.
Hand up the middle to number 30. Yeah, as I say, only about a half a yard to go. So it's interesting. Now we can focus just on one game.
Right, yeah.
Not sure if they were just getting some of the guys a little playing time. So you know as much about this as I do. I heard some people mention earlier about 8th graders. Explain to those listening that might not be familiar, what are 8th graders allowed to do for, and we're talking about 9 through 12. We're not talking about like Cocoa High 7 through 12. We're talking about schools without 8th graders. What are 8th graders allowed to do for spring football?
They can come over, like for example here at Satellite, they come over from Delora Middle School. They can practice, but they can't put pads on, and they can't dress out tonight either. So, but they can come out and learn and run some drills. As far as no contact.
Right. And I think that's big. It gives them an opportunity to meet some of the other, and Satellite is a close-knit community. They probably know a lot of the kids on the team anyway, but still to come out here with them, run some drills, catch a few balls, maybe make a tackle or two. I think that's a confidence builder.
Oh yeah, and get to know the coaches and expectations, like you said earlier. It's very important for them to get that.
I used to tell my kids when they played that, used to have 9th grade football when Ethan played, and they don't have that anymore. But I used to tell him, your goal should be at least to make varsity by the time you're a junior, because you know better than I, because you worked at the high school level. When you got a 13-year-old on the field going up against an 18-year-old, that's a huge difference.
Huge difference.
so if you can get out there by the time you're 16, but as we talked about, there have been some anomalies. I think Coco had an 8th grader, I can't remember his name, played middle linebacker. I think he made All-Cape Coast Conference. That's not the norm.
No, not at all.
But that does happen from time to time. And so now what do we got? We got one out to the right, trips out to the left, 33 caught the ball, running up the middle. Yeah, there you go. There's some tackling going on.
Yeah, the Scorpion's going to pass the ball this year, for sure.
So we have seen a couple runs, but again, it looks like it's still early. We're not going to get the full force of everything they're going to do just based on the Intra-Squad game tonight. But I do see a lot of passing going on.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be a passing team. Seeing a lot of passing, with their sets here. You got trips right with one back set here.
So we got trips right, single to the left, single back, fake handoff. We got a flag thrown. Number 16 bobbled the ball.
Can't quite hang on to it.
See what that flag is. And we talked about the 3rd team, and when I used to announce for Rockledge, I always gave kudos because those young men and women work their rear ends off. This is a good opportunity for the MCOA too. To get their, they might have some new people out there. Again, maybe there were some rule changes in the FHSA they're trying to get used to that I haven't read up on, but there's a 3rd team out there that's also benefiting from this game.
Oh yeah, for sure. The new guys, like you said, MCOA, they're always looking for officials, football, basketball, whatever sport it is. That's a good time for the young guys, to get out here and learn the fundamentals of the game.
Good way to stay connected to the game. I know we've lost a lot of officials, not just here, across the nation, due to maybe unwanted behavior by some of the people sitting on the other side of the fence, and that's a shame. But hopefully that will change, and we can get more men and women out there to officiate. So another pass, that's 13. That almost scored the touchdown before, knocked him out of bounds. Maybe not. Tiptoeing. No, well, official's down. He's back up. He's looking all right. Good. Looks like he stepped
pretty good
down
speed
about
there.
10.
I like the speed. What's his name? 13.
13. I think I mentioned that before. Cooper Jenkins.
Cooper Jenkins.
Wide receiver, and he's going to be a senior, so looking to have a big year.
That's a pro name there, Cooper Jenkins.
Yeah. So back in the, I think you said 75 years, you were the assistant principal here at
Yeah, at least
Satellite.
75.
That was when the ocean actually came up right to where the school is.
Exactly,
before,
yeah.
So Friday night, home football game. What were you involved with trying to get everything ready and prepared for what could be thousands of people showing up?
Yeah, I definitely had to set up and make sure that everything was ready to go, field prep, scoreboard, making sure that everything was in line, parking for dignitaries, just, I did everything nobody else wanted to do. And, I'd get out of here about 11:30 at night.
Right.
It's a long day. You got in at
Sure.
7 a.m. in the morning, 11:30 at night. So that was a lot to do, making sure the officials were taken care of.
Oh, interception there. Nice play by that young fella. I remember, and I thought about what you just said when I was the announcer for Rockledge for a few years. As I would leave, I always thought to myself, who turns out the lights? Who's the last?
That was me.
Who's the last person that leaves the stadium, locks the gate, flips out the light?
That was my job.
And I don't think that a lot of people realize what a job that is.
It's a tremendous job.
To get everything in place, get your ticket takers, get your concession stand workers, have your police on hand. I know Satellite Beach Police Department supports Satellite to the fullest. They've always got a good team here.
We've always had
to support the crowds, but you just forget just what, and of course with the last couple of years, the success that Satellite has had, that's a big ordeal.
It certainly is. I mean, a lot goes into this. Not only for prep with the administration and the facilities and coaches, but the players. Players put in hours of time, and mom and dad, the sacrifices they make.
We were talking about Cocoa Beach baseball. We were blessed to do one of their games, and through some type of a snafu, they're having their field redone during baseball season, so they only got to play 4 home games, and the rest were on the road. I think 15 or so, 14 were on the road. And we were talking about home field advantage, and especially at the high school level. It's not so much that it's, oh good, we're playing at home, I know the field better than somebody else, but you don't have to get on a bus. Right. You don't have to leave school early. You're in your own domain. You get out of school, usually, I'm guessing, you have a meal here or something?
Yeah, usually a pregame meal and get after it,
You're in your own clubhouse, so it's just that you're not rushed.
Right.
And then, of course, you've got the added, and I know Brevard Public Schools has a couple of job fairs coming up, making sure the buses are on time, making sure you get to the game on time. Again, I hats off to the bus drivers because, they're still shorthanded like a lot of other positions. But just staying at home, relaxing, having something to eat here with your players means a lot. And again, hats off again to Cocoa Beach Minutemen baseball team. Had 14 games in a row on the field and still finished with a 10-10 record and made the district final before getting knocked out by, I believe it was MCC.
Yeah, that was quite a accomplishment on their part, because playing on the road is not easy, and the home field advantage is certainly important.
Right, and a big win, I believe they had over Holy Trinity during that first round. All right, so looks like the first quarter, I guess is how they're doing it, is over. Not sure what their highlights. What do you got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 6 strikes. So for those that might not know, and I don't know if football is the only sport where there's an official in the box doing the clock.
Yeah.
I don't remember basketball, baseball.
I think lacrosse has one.
Lacrosse
on the field, though.
Oh, that keeps the unofficial. Right. I think you're right. And I know when I used to announce soccer at Satellite, you'd stop it at 2 minutes on the board, and then that was always
Yeah, I think football, and maybe lacrosse is the only one. I'm not sure, but
where they have an official that does
Yeah.
that. That was a competition I had with myself when I was calling the soccer, girls soccer for 4 years, is try to hit that right on that 2-minute mark.
yeah.
Sometimes I would miss it because I get excited watching my daughter and your daughter play,
right.
and next thing you know, it's at a minute 30. But
Yeah.
that's okay. They couldn't fire me, so that was a good thing.
Yeah, that's a good thing about it. You need coaches.
So real quick, for those that are watching, and again, we appreciate it. I saw we got some new people that joined Pressbox Overtime on Facebook. You do not need to join the Facebook group to watch anything that Doug and I do. But if you do join, at least you get a notification. I think that we're going to be doing some shows this summer once we retire again.
Yeah.
In a couple of weeks when the school year is over. Maybe some interviews, and certainly looking forward to doing football in the fall. So if you do join the group, at least you'll get notified when we come up. When the game is over tonight, I will post a video on our YouTube channel. Yes, Pressbox Overtime. That way, if anybody wants to watch the replay or listen to some of the commentary, it's easier to find the video on YouTube versus going to Pressbox Overtime on Facebook. But let everybody know we're going to do this again tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. Just a shout out to you, Bill, with Pressbox Overtime. I know you haven't been around that long, but you are really giving out some great information. Florida Today newspaper, sports used to give you all that information. I don't see it anymore. There's very little sports coverage, but you're doing a great job out there, giving us a lot of information, not only about sports, but also band, any other activity that schools are having. And I appreciate your effort and your hard work, digging up this information and putting it out there for us.
Well, and I appreciate that. With 16 high schools, and again, we have a lot of other entities out there that do film games, do live streaming, like you mentioned, our good friend Brian McCallum. To me, the hardest worker in the field, Craig Bailey, the photographer. It's like somebody told me, don't recreate the wheel. We got some people putting out there, but hopefully we can pick and choose some of the information and share it on our Facebook page where people might not otherwise follow those people.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure when Gator football starts, we're going to have some information there as well. We both being Gator fans. So I'm excited about that as well.
I am too. So tomorrow night, a little different than tonight, and I call it bonus football. We're going to the Jamboree up in Titusville. First game is at 6. It's going to be Titusville Terriers, MCC, and Cocoa Beach. Each are going to play a half against each other. So when I say bonus football, we get to watch 3 teams and 3 halves. Little different scenario tomorrow night. Coach at Cocoa Beach is finishing up his first year, but he's actually the senior coach tomorrow night because the other 2 teams have brand new coaches. A combined record of 1-29. So again, building that culture. As a new coach, coaching, in Titusville, again, didn't win a game last year, unfortunately. What do you think Coach Holmes is looking for tomorrow night?
Well, I think he's just trying to get some bodies out there, to play, because Titusville, the last time I saw him play here, they had like 17 players. I don't know what's happened to the culture there or whatever, but you've got to start with your student body. You got to get these kids out. You got to get them excited. You got to build a nice weight room facility. You got to get new uniforms. Something to get these kids excited to get out there. And I know they've had quite a few coaches in the last few years. They've had a few issues up there, I understand, but kids want to play.
Right.
It's up to the head coach to create some excitement and get them out there. Not every coach can do it.
Right. And
it's a gift. It's a gift.
We were talking earlier. People might not remember it. It's hard to believe it's already been 40 years ago. It's crazy where the time goes. Titusville's got a good history. They had back-to-back state championships, I believe 83, 84. So, yes, 40 years ago, but that community, especially people in our age group and even younger, they know what it's like to win.
They sure do. I'm telling you what, they got some hard-nosed kids up there, too. And back when I coached at Rockledge, Merritt Island, and Cocoa, had a guy by the name of Al Wernicke. That was the coach. He won 2 state championships there. He also won 2, I think it was Belle Glade.
I think so.
He's been around a long time and a great coach, and he has some great talent as well. So, there's a lot of great traditions at Titusville High School, and those Terriers, they'll come out and hit you, man.
And when I was doing some research this week, and I forgot, they had Gerald White as a running back who went on to star at University of Michigan. I forgot about him playing
Gerald
there.
White. I didn't forget about him. I was coaching at Rockledge High School when we played against him. And
did you see the back of his jersey a few times? As
he ran 230 yards
my
against my defense.
Oh, geez.
I was just a young coach at that time. And after the game, I said, Al Wernicke, I said, Al, I can't believe you do that to our kids.
Exactly.
He said, you're the defensive coordinator. Do something about it.
That's right.
So I just shut up and walked off the field. But what a great talent he had up there.
Sure
Great
did.
coach. There's been some great coaches in this county. Gerald Odom, Bill McCall and Coco, just Bill McKnight at Rockledge, just some great coaches.
Yeah,
Great
there have
coaches.
been. And again, John Holmes, I knew him when he was coached a little bit at Rockledge. When my son actually coached 1 year with the freshmen, John played there. Went to start at West Virginia, played in 4 bowl games. I think he led Mountaineers the last couple of years in sacks. So again, here's another young, energetic, homegrown coach, and I look for big things out of Titusville.
Yeah, I think he's off to a good start there, from what I understand and what I've heard. So I'm excited to see tomorrow night.
And again, we're looking forward to seeing them, MCC and Cocoa Beach, and we'll certainly talk more about those coaches and those teams tomorrow. And you know what? I'm not sure who put that in place, whether it was John or whoever, but I think that's a good group of 3 teams that get together. 3 teams
definitely.
that are kind of heading, looking to go in the same direction.
Right.
All new coaches. Again, the Cocoa Beach coach been there for a year already, but I think that's good. I think we're going to have some fun tomorrow night, competitive, and hopefully a lot of fans come out.
Yeah, they're all 3 rebuilding, so that's good opportunity to see what they have, and help the confidence of all the players. You don't want to go out and jump on a Rockledge or Cocoa in a jamboree.
Right. Now, I'm not sure if you can zero in on is he the left tackle right here, number 77? That young man's a pretty good size for a tackle. I don't have a size on my list. I certainly got to find out that young man's name, number 77.
I've been watching him. I'll tell you what, he's pretty doggone quick for a big man.
Corbin Conley. I'm going to think 6'something, 6'3", 4'5". He's got to be tipping 250, 275.
Yeah, he's good
when they're
looking.
that tall and they're in that great a shape, I can't tell how much they weigh.
Good looking kid.
Man, that's
with some good speed.
yeah. And that's if you're young and raw, but you've got that size, you're going to draw attention.
Exactly. I remember a boy I had at Cocoa, James Cox, 6'5", 255 freshman, and could run. He was definitely a D1 prospect, but unfortunately, he didn't pan out.
Right.
But good gracious, what an athlete he was.
Again, looking at the crowd, we might be at about 300. We kidded each other on the pregame show. I do have my Satellite hat on. I figured I could wear it tonight because it is Satellite against Satellite. Otherwise, we don't show any favoritism unless maybe we play an out-of-county team, then it's okay. But I figure since I'm rooting for both sides, I could wear my Satellite hat. So we've got the white on offense. What do we got? We got trips to the left.
Trips, double slot, double slot, yeah.
So he's looking left, he's throwing up in the air, number 10. No. So not sure if number 10 was supposed to turn out.
It's like there was a...
I know sometimes you got to be careful if you got 2 receivers in the same area, one might be...
Yeah, there was a lot of pressure on the quarterback there.
Yeah, there should have been... and I like that. I like that the defense, I hate watching some of these Major League All-Star games when they really don't do anything.
Right.
So I'm glad that they're putting a little pressure. I mean, I would think Coach Robinson wants some type of real game scenario where he knows what it's like to have some of those defenders breathing down his throat. So we got one out to the right, trips to the left.
Trips left, yeah.
Single back. A little high, he's looking at that. Oh man, that rush got in there. Yeah. Just like you said,
Offensive
Again,
line
I'm
on
not
whites.
sure what's first team or second team. I don't see 77 on the offensive line. So
That offensive line's got to tighten up a little bit and
Yeah, a little
give
bit.
that quarterback a little time to throw the ball.
again, I mentioned earlier, if you're interested in coaching any sport at the high school, even middle school level where we have basketball and track, go to Brevard Public Schools, click on the tab Careers, hit openings, and I think you can even filter coaches only. If there's not 60 or 70 openings, I'm not sure what there is, but give back to the community. I believe Brevard Public Schools is ramping up a 25% increase this year for supplements. So now's a good time to get on board, help out the youth of our county, and do a little coaching. So that's the second interception we've seen. That's number 6. Let me grab this last one. We got 4 different teams here. Number 6 is Ashton Johan. Actually listed as a running back, so playing a little both ways tonight.
Both ways, you got 2.
But he's in the stat book, which is good.
You know, typically Satellite High School usually like to play one way with their athletes for some reason. That's what I've seen throughout the years here. When I coached, I wanted the best athletes on the field the entire time. So my kids were in shape to go both ways. And of course, you know, we had some kids give them breathers, but
Right.
typically in the Satellite, one way, go one way.
And you know, it's interesting you bring that up. So how did you manage? Because I remember for a couple of games, Ethan was mainly offensive line. A couple of games his senior year, he played defensive line. He was also a kickoff return and punt.
Right, you never came off the field, yeah.
Great shape, but I can tell you after a quarter, he was. So how did you manage taking those elite athletes, keeping them fresh until the fourth quarter?
Well, you know, you had to, back in the day, you had to keep them in there, man. They had to be in shape. And I guarantee you, we had them in shape. We were going to put a good product on the field on Friday night. We weren't going to be embarrassed. So everybody bought in, players, coaches, everybody.
And you know, you listen to some of these top-notch coaches like your favorite, King Saban, and that's what they preach. We're not going to get out hustled in the fourth quarter.
Right.
You know, and that's what this spring game and this summer conditioning, the running, the weight room, is not just to build up that skill level, but to make sure that your kids are still playing in the fourth quarter at that level they were in the first quarter.
Exactly. You got to be in shape. The kids have to make a commitment, and they've got to be in shape in the weight room. Of course, with all the running you got to do to get them in their lungs in shape. So it's a total commitment. Not an easy sport.
So I see the clock is at 4:46, so I'm thinking that's middle of the second quarter. And again, I know some fans, and I'm one of them. We went to watch the spring game at Florida one time. We saw something like this. Wasn't what we expected.
Right,
So
right.
not sure. But again, even though Coach Knox or Coach Robinson has been a head
Quarterback
coach
keeper.
before, you know, he's got a plan on what he wants to get accomplished tonight.
Right. And like we said, it's a controlled scrimmage. You're just looking at the kids trying to get a look at who can do what and where you need to coach during the summer and back into the fall and get ready for the fall season. It's a valuable time in spring football.
So we have River Moore at quarterback, number 1. In the backfield behind him is Nicholas Lepresti. Hopefully I pronounced his name right. So what do we got? We got doubles left, doubles right, one in the backfield.
Double slot.
Looking down the field. Oh, again, another nice rush. Puts it on his left hand. Oh, I like that. You know, I remember you couldn't do that. You couldn't do that little shuttle pass back. It used to be an illegal forward pass. I like now that they could do that.
Yeah, I do too. It adds a dimension to the game, for sure.
And hats off to quarterback Moore. Again, he flipped it over to his left hand, trying to get away from the defender. Right-handed quarterback, so he's not going to throw, and just did a little shuttle pass and picked up first down. So hats off to him for thinking about that while you've got some of his teammates chasing him.
Oh yeah, he had a few white jerseys breathing down his neck. That boy, he was.
Real game. That's when the quarterback does a little chewing when you get back into
Right.
the huddle and say, "Hey, this ain't how it's supposed to happen."
But usually your quarterback's your best athlete out there. So he's pretty quick-footed to get away from those big boys in the middle.
Well, the funny thing is, we even talk about the pros. How many pro teams are there when the quarterback goes down? They don't really have a backup that can perform at that same level,
Exactly.
which is a shame to say that, but.
So true.
Passing over the middle, wide open. Oh, nice little juke going around the outside. Nice block. And a touchdown. That's number 7. I know I called his number before, Miles Hinkle. That was a nice little run by that young fellow.
Nice run, yeah, nice run, nice play.
So I'm not sure if the rumor is true, but if you pan a little bit to the right, is that Cook Pond over there?
Yeah, that's Cook. They named it after me when I left here. It's a nice little pond out here.
I see that.
There's a lot of good bass in there. I come out here on Sunday afternoon after church and fish out there sometimes. But yeah, that's a new drainage pond they put in. The city
Now,
put
what was
in.
that before?
That was a softball field, practice softball field, and now it's a drainage area for Jackson. When heavy storm.
Right.
Heavy storm, you get a lot of flooding out here, so that should eliminate some of it.
Good.
I think.
You did a nice job on that. It's probably a GoFundMe to get a plaque put up over there for. Oh boy. All right. So we've got about 3 minutes left, and again, it's a controlled scrimmage. But listen, to me, to have 250 people out here on a Thursday afternoon watching this, I think that's huge for the program.
Oh, I think so, Bill. I live out here in this community, and
Right.
the folks that live here, they support this school, the athletics,
Right.
all the programs, the band programs. It's just an amazing place to live. Just friendly people help you out any way they can. I'm just proud to be a member of this community. Sounds like I'm running for office, doesn't it?
Yeah, if you click on the link, vote for Doug as you're watching the show. And you talk about a community, and of course, again, my daughter went to school here, and I was blessed to coach her and your daughter as an assistant coach for the lacrosse team. First few years when they were district champs. You got the church across the street that's part of the community. You got the Schlechter Center where people park. I mean, it's because there's no parking here,
Yeah.
And again, I think sometimes the church across the street will have some type of activities after the game where kids can come over.
Yeah.
It definitely is a community feel, and everybody pitches in on game day.
Total community effort here, and the church, fifth quarter, they have that usually after
Right,
the games,
right.
home games.
Right.
And not to mention the track. This track is open to the public,
Right.
24/7. There's a turnstile on the visitor side that you can come in and jog. Even people from other towns come here, so it's really a beautiful facility for everyone to use.
And I also want to give a shout out. Hopefully, I know her mom follows us on Press Box Overtime. But Lucy Maris, the young lady that I interviewed a few months ago, that went over to the wrestling. She's a cheerleader and a wrestler. She might be down there cheering, I'm not sure. She just got finished doing a state wrestling tournament down South Florida. Finished second in the state.
Are you serious?
Now she's headed to nationals up in Fargo in July. So Lucy, hats off. If you or your mom are listening, we wish you the best, and we certainly want to follow you and see how you do at nationals in a couple months.
Now, is she wrestling boys or all girls?
Well, so this year was the first time that FHSA had girls wrestling have their own entity. Now, during the year, as she told us in the interview, most of who she wrestled against were guys. But when they got to state, when they got to districts, then they put them in their own bracket, and she was able to compete, as were all the other young ladies, for state championships in that. So
Wow, isn't that something?
that's
I didn't know that. You're a wealth of knowledge there, Bill.
Well, that's that
pretty
9-year
cool.
bachelor degree coming in handy. I got every penny's worth when I got that 9-year bachelor degree. I'm making sure it's paying off 40 years later.
That's pretty cool to see a girl wrestle and do that well.
Well, and that she can compete, and all the girls can compete
Yeah.
for their own, wrestling.
Yeah. Tighten that thing up a little bit. Yeah, it's interesting to see the girls get involved in wrestling. I wouldn't want to be one of the boys that gets beat by her, because all my friends would make fun of me, I'm sure. But that's really cool.
Trying to get our tripod set up a little bit better. Let's see.
So I could go in a double slot here again. Double slot, one back. I'd passing the ball a lot.
Yeah. All right, looking to it. Oh,
Nice throw.
nice
Nice throw.
throw. Number 2 at quarterback. Looks like he's a lefty. And that is Dylan Vigliotti, quarterback. Only a sophomore, so... And again, if I'm looking at this right, so if they've got, of course, listed as seniors, if they're this year's seniors, they can't play.
Right.
So I'm assuming these are next year's class. So if he's just a sophomore going into next year, they got 3 more years with that young man.
Yeah, pretty nice arm there. I like that throw. Should have been caught. That's something the receiver coach is going to work on with that receiver, and probably talk to him a little bit. I haven't seen much of a running game. I think
They've done a few, and again, I'm going to go out on a limb and say there's probably not a lot of other school scouts here tonight.
Yeah, probably not.
But I doubt if, I think what we're seeing is probably pretty close to what they're looking to do in 2022, but I'm sure we're not seeing the whole playbook.
Yeah, they may not be showing a lot of it, but definitely going to be a passing team for sure. Only thing, I used to run the wishbone. We didn't pass very much because a couple bad things can happen when you pass. Incomplete and interception. So you better get that running game established as well.
So you mentioned passing, and I appreciate you doing that. So doing a little bit of our research and getting ready for the game tonight. Last year's Satellite averaged 188 yards a game passing. But here's the other thing. They also rushed for 133. So you want to talk about a balance. Yeah. So 188 passing. They had almost 14 completions a game, 2 passing touchdowns a game. Quarterback rating was 94.
Wow.
But they also had 8 rushing touchdowns and 5.8 yards a carry. You know what? You give me an offense that passes and rushes for 5.8 yards a carry, I'm thinking you're going to have a good year.
That's excellent. I didn't realize the stats there, but that's a great balance. Anytime you can do that, you can win some ball games.
And that's why they ended up finished 11th in the state in 5A. They scored 28 points a game. So again, and talk about balance, 16 rushing touchdowns, 31 receiving. Again, they had a good, and I saw a couple of their games. And again, the 2 teams they lost to, Rockledge and Merritt Island, they were in the games for the most part all the way through the 4th quarter. But when your only 2 losses are to teams that are ranked 4th and 5th in the state, not making any excuses, but you had a pretty good year.
Oh, that's not too shabby. I tell you, when I was here for 22 years, we had maybe 2 winning seasons when I was here. So hats off to the coaches and the community and the players for building a great football program here at Satellite High School.
Oh, that was a miscommunication.
All right, so look at quarterback running up the middle, is on a keeper, got a couple blocks by the wide receiver and goes out of bounds. Takes out one of the, gives her a little hug. Okay, she's okay.
Managers got to be alert. You never know what's going to happen on that side.
Listen, let me tell you, I did the chain gang for Rockledge this past year. I forgot how big those young men are. I had one eye on the stick and one eye on the field. I did not need to be going to Holmes Regional after a football game.
Well, I got taken out one time at Rockledge, and I'm glad I was young and could get back up. If it happened now, I'm not getting back up. But,
going down, that's the easy part.
Yeah, you got to be alert. You got to be ready to play.
So what do we got? Let's talk about defense. So we got a 4-4-3 maybe, or
we got a
4-5-2?
4-4. Yeah,
4-4?
even front. Yeah.
three in the back.
Pretty popular defense now here, college and high school.
We got a running play. Oh, look at there. Nice blocking right up the middle. I like the way that young man held the ball, held it with two hands. That is number 11, and that is Michael Barton. He's going to be a rising junior. Nice run. Reminds me of, what was that running back at Miami Dolphins, Nottingham? He just held that ball with both arms in front of him, and nobody was going to knock that ball loose.
Yeah, his coaches coached him well. You know, when they tackle now, they go for the ball. They They don't really try to tackle.
Oh, nice fake. It's a keeper. That's also a good job on number 41 on defense, holding his ground. And let's see who number 41 is here. That is Alan Steffen. You know, that's got to be the hardest thing to tell these young men when you're coaching defense. No matter where that ball goes, which side, stand your ground, because it might be coming back to you.
Right, you got to play your technique, you got to play your gap, and do what the coach asks you to do.
You got to play that position no matter where the ball goes. Nice pass to number 13. He's caught a few balls today.
Sure has.
And again, that's Cooper Jenkins. He is going to be, let's see where Mr. Jenkins is, a rising senior, so he's getting a few touches.
Yeah, I like that name. I like
it's got
some athletic ability. I'll tell you what, I'm
play
impressed.
somewhere like USC, maybe out there in LA. And
Yeah.
maybe get a little NIL money, but that's another story we'll talk about another day. Holy mackerel, what a mess the NCAA did on that.
I sure did. I'm not in agreement with it, but
that's,
nobody cares what I think.
Talking about getting, nice keeper, going up the middle, nice block. Oh, wow. All right, so I give number 24 on defense credit for standing his ground, but he need a little bit of juice on that. Let's see, number 24 on defense, Anthony Dix. Yeah, hats off to that young man. He had the quarterback coming full speed, and he didn't move at all. He got moved, but he didn't move.
He saved a touchdown there for sure.
That was Mark Hinkle, the quarterback, on the keeper.
Well, that name, I think his older brother played here not too long ago.
I tell you one thing I like, we're having fall weather today.
Oh, it's beautiful, gorgeous.
We can only hope that it's this cool come August when it's usually 90, 95. So, all right, back to pass, and the quarterback pass. Let's see, halfback. No. Oh, look at how he spun out of that. Wow. Nice run. Number 6, Angel Stanley. You know, one thing he did, and I'm sure you coached this too, Doug, he never stopped his feet.
Yeah, he kept his feet
Just
moving.
kept moving, kept his legs going, and worked his way out.
As an ex-defense coordinator, though, I'm kind of upset with the defense. You got to wrap him up, and you got to hang on to him. But that's a big boy, so.
But you know what? Even watch the college; they still try to tackle high, and those guys are so strong. Upper body strength, you're just going to bounce off.
That's true, and you know you can't use your headgear anymore tackling.
Right.
So kind of taking away some of the big hits that we had back in the old days.
Right. Oh my gosh, yes. Jeez.
We used to teach bow your neck, put your face mask on a number, and wrap up. You really can't do that anymore, or you get thrown out.
What was it? Jack Tatum, was that the defensive guy for the Raiders? That just laid people out.
Yeah, he would hurt people. Yeah, like you said, Bill, it's good weather, beautiful weather, nice breeze.
Just trying to get our battery pack plugged in here. Let's see. There we go. All right.
It's working.
We're going to try to set a record tonight and not run out, even though I don't know why the video ended earlier. But I think you were right. We waited too long. And sometimes when these iPhones get down to about 10%, they don't want to work real hard. So
could have been your cameraman doing that.
47%. So we're gonna jack one of those batteries on there real quick and see. So let me see what kind of schedule they got coming up for next year. 2023 version. And again, like I mentioned, they still have Rockledge, they still have Merritt Island, excuse me, in their district. And they added O'Galley, which I think, and you mentioned earlier, I think was a great addition. They actually beat O'Galley last year 37-16. They did lose to Rockledge, lost a couple times to Merritt Island. They do play at Vieira. They do play Melbourne. No offense to Satellite, they beat Melbourne 13-7 early in the year, which I think was a plus because down the stretch, I think outside of Merritt Island and Cocoa, Melbourne might have been the toughest team at the end of the year last year.
Yeah, they came along. Melbourne came along. They didn't start out very good, but they came along and had a real good season.
They also are going to have here, they're going to host on October 7th, Seabreeze out of Daytona. Seabreeze finished last year at 7-5. But listen, when you mention Seabreeze or Mainland, I don't care what their previous year's record were, you're going to have a good game on your hands.
You are. They're a good team, well coached up in that area. It's like a double slot.
Yeah, still, I don't think I've seen more than one in the backfield. Have you?
No, I haven't. Not yet.
Nice stop by the defense. Out of the 10 games Satellite has next year, 5 made the playoffs. So again, they've got another type schedule that will prepare them for the postseason.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a tough schedule for sure.
Well, when you play Rockledge and Merritt Island and O'Galley in your district, and then you add Heritage, who made the playoffs, Vieira, Melbourne, Seabreeze. Yeah, I don't see a week. And they start off with Palm Bay. We talked about. Oh, there he goes. He's going down the middle. He's passing the 50-yard line again. Oh, nice. Listen, there's a reason you grabbed that shirt tail, and that was one of them right there.
Yeah, it's a nice throw and catch.
Nice stop by the defense, but only after they picked up about 30 yards.
A nice catch by 16.
So again, we got doubles on both sides, one in the backfield. Again, I like the idea. MCOA's out here getting some practice too. I think we've got several games tomorrow night, so even though a lot of them are out of county. Back of the quarterback, he's looking right. He's up in the air. Now again, they don't usually call 2 receivers on the same spot. So
yeah, that was a
I'm not sure if somebody was maybe supposed to do a button hook or a slide towards the middle, but because as you know, what that does, it brings 2 defenders there with you as well.
Right. It was. It looks like a mix-up there with the receivers.
Nice throw.
You had too many black jerseys in that area.
Yeah.
Could have been an interception very easily.
It used to drive me crazy when I was coaching lacrosse. The girl had the ball, and she's looking for somebody to pass, and the other girls would run towards her. I'm like, no, don't run towards her because you're bringing all the defenders with you.
Right.
Run away. She'll find you.
I never did understand that game.
Took me a while after. I didn't know a thing about lacrosse. All right, here we go. He's looking to his left.
It's a nice hit there.
It was a nice hit.
Number 6.
I think I've called his name before. Yeah, Angel Stanley. The only thing about that play, where they telegraphed it a little bit too much.
Yeah, it was.
And gave that to, and I'm sure the receiver saying, "Hey, listen, you got to get to me quicker next time."
Yeah. That's a long pass out there to the sideline.
Yeah.
Slow to develop.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Gave the defense, and they took advantage of that, and that was a nice hit by Angel. Again, the weather is just absolutely gorgeous. I'm thinking if we're out there in the stands, we might have our jackets on, to be honest with you. Oh, nice play.
Good
Now, that was a
tackle
good
there.
play by the defender. He held onto the ball, so the quarterback really couldn't go anywhere. I like that.
That's true, yeah. Number 56 on the tackle.
Let's see, 56 is Ethan. Good name.
There you go.
Holden. So again, and he's a rising sophomore, so that was a nice play by him. And we got a minute 46. I'm guessing almost about the first half, a little bit before 7 o'clock. So, did you ever do any, you said you did some intra-squad games
Yes.
at Cocoa. Did you run them like this, or did you
Yeah.
run them as a game?
Yeah, we ran. It was controlled.
Okay.
We would do that, like I said, and then the next week we would have a jamboree,
Okay.
and we would go hit somebody besides ourselves, and that was a lot of fun. You know, when you're hitting yourself, it
it's
gets a
not-
little boring.
Sure it does.
But you know, when you go out and play somebody else, you get a better look at what you got for the fall,
Right.
and you got to work hard on it in the summer so you can get a good product on the field in the fall.
You know, looking at some of the matchups, I have them on my list with me. On May 27th, Rockledge travels over to play Orlando Jones. That's going to be a nice little matchup.
I played Jones when I was at Cocoa.
Right.
We beat them. I think it was 7-6. 7-6 we beat them, but a lot of speed. A lot of speed.
And they've been hot and cold. There was a few years, because they were in the same district as Cocoa back when 3A had districts. Now, of course, they went to regions. And they were having some tough years, but I think the past couple of years ago, I want to say one year they were 9-1 and only lost to Cocoa. So they, again, another team like Titusville that's rich in tradition, and whoever that coach is has turned them around.
Yeah, they've got great talent, great speed. I would coach there. I would definitely coach at Jones. Still good, looking good.
Still green
50%.
up there.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, good. All right, so we're down to about the 20-yard line.
Double slot again.
Coming up. Oh, nice catch. Is that 13 again?
13.
Cooper Jacobson sure is. I think if we get to cover one of their games in the fall, we might have that name on speed dial.
Yeah, that kid.
He's already had about 5 or 6 catches. And as a rising
He's
senior,
a real deal. I like him. I like his speed. I like hands. Great
Look on
hands.
the outside, looking at number 6. Oh, nice interception. He's still running up the sideline. He's in there. He might go. Came off. Back inside. Out of bounds. Nice interception. That was a nice catch. Over the shoulder, looking the opposite way.
Nice
Number
interception.
8, Dave White. Very nice. Hard catch. I mean, that would have been a great catch by the receiver.
That's one reason I ran the wishbone back in the day.
That ball didn't have to go far, did it?
Yeah, like I said, a couple bad things can happen when you chunk it. So, great interception there.
You know, isn't it funny? You don't see, the way Oklahoma mastered that.
Oh yeah.
I think it's just because we got such great athletes coming up as quarterback. I'm surprised nobody runs that anymore.
You got to have the right athletes to do it. We had also Bill Humphrey. Terry Humphrey's dad was my offensive coordinator. He was a genius with the wishbone. And we went to a clinic in Gainesville. Lou Holtz was there. That was when Lou Holtz was the head coach. No, he was at Arkansas at the time.
Arkansas, okay.
And Bill Humphrey knew Lou Holtz.
No
So
kidding.
we all got to meet Lou Holtz.
Sweet.
Lou Holtz sat down with us and showed us, because he ran the wishbone also, and he showed us some plays that he ran and some little, tricks of the trade, so to speak.
Right.
So that we implemented when we got back from that coaching clinic.
Wow.
So that was pretty exciting to meet Lou Holtz.
You know, that's what I'm going to back up a little bit. That's why I love watching the service academies, because they run, Navy, Air Force, Army.
They do run it.
My gosh, they get those, and they're not big. They're maybe 5'10", 5'11", 185, but that scheme has just worked so well for them over the years.
Oh, yeah.
That, the days of Roger Staubach, I wouldn't say are gone forever. But
Right.
if you want to watch some good running teams, watch the service academies. They know how to
I
run.
love
the ball.
watching it. I love watching that wishbone.
All right, so now we're on the 50-yard line. Oh, look at here, going it left-handed. Oh.
Going deep again, just overthrown.
Now, and I'm sure that's a coachable moment. You don't ever want to have your receiver have to stop and come back.
Right. It was a little
want him
short.
You want to hit him in the stride. So, and that's just something. That's timing, like you said. Some of these guys maybe haven't played with each other before. Some of these guys maybe didn't get a lot of playing time last year because of some of the seniors. Again, all right, so we had halftime. I'm hearing the PA announcer, and I'm not sure, so we're just going to put 10
Get
back
one more
on.
play they're going to get
Oh,
here,
I
it
see.
looks like.
That infamous second was still left on the clock.
Yeah, got to play it. Probably going to be another.
All right, so last play, you might as well run it on. Oh, nice rush. There you go. What was that?
Nice tackle.
play. He said, you might have 1 second left, but not on my watch. Trying to see what that young man's number 56. I did see 56. And that was Ethan Holden. Again, for those of y'all that know me, that's my son's name, Ethan, so I'm biased towards that name. For all you professional NFL fans, tonight, 8 o'clock on ESPN2, they're going to announce the full schedule. I know they've been kind of tickling us a little bit the last few days with who's going to be playing overseas in England and Germany and all this, but tonight at 8 o'clock, NFL full schedule on ESPN2. So it looks like they got about 10 minutes in between. So what do you think? You're Coach Robinson. You got about 80 kids out there. And real quick, I like what the referees, they're huddling at the same time, probably going over some things that they've done.
Yep.
What are you talking about at halftime right now?
Well, you're just trying to reiterate your duties and what you should be doing, and the coaches are going over some of the mistakes that players have made.
Sure.
I mean, this offensive line, they've got to do a little work here to keep that defensive front off of this quarterback. I'm sure
Right.
the quarterback coach is probably chewing some butt in regards to that, but. You just go out and have some fun. These kids will remember this for a lifetime.
Right.
It's just a fun time in the spring. Go out, play against your buddies, and have some bragging rights too tomorrow morning when you go back to school.
Right. No, yeah, I agree. I think the passing game has looked pretty good. We talked a little bit earlier about where we saw a couple wide receivers in the same vicinity, which that doesn't normally happen because then you've got also 2 defenders there. A couple receivers had to come back for the ball. Now, again, we're up here in the beautiful press box. We got windows open. Not sure how much that wind's a factor out there, and that could have something to do with it too.
I'm sure it is. The flag's blowing a little bit out here, so it definitely is a factor in how that ball is thrown tonight. So, but a lot of these kids, he's playing everybody, so they're all getting an opportunity to show what they got.
Right.
Not everybody's going to play every down in the fall. You're going to get
Right.
to the point where you're going to play your best athletes because that head coach has to win on Friday night.
Right.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You got to win, so you're going to put the best athletes on the field. But like I said, it's a fun time, springtime. Get out and play the game and just have some fun.
I learned, I coached Little League Baseball down in South Florida when Ethan played. Not because I had a wealth of knowledge about baseball, but one of those, hey, we need a coach. Okay, I'll help. And actually, they were so short-handed of umpires, we went to the Bucky Dent Baseball School in Delray Beach for half a day and learned everything there was to know about umpiring because when you umpired a game, you were the only one. So you were behind the plate, and I'll never forget the thing that they taught us. At the end of the day, ball or strike, you're quick and you're loud. Because if you hesitate, they're going to chew you up.
That's
But
so true.
So I started coaching, base, and I'm going to have to admit this. There was, I think, 7 teams in our league. I only won 6 games, but I beat everybody one time. So at least one night during the year, we were better than all the other teams.
That's not.
But I was talking to
not
one of
bad.
the other coaches, and actually one of my assistant coaches, his son, 2 years later played on a Boynton Beach team that went up to the World Series. So his first name was Angel. I think it was Angel Sanchez. He wasn't there because of me. But in talking to his dad, I think his dad played professionally in Puerto Rico. He told me that you know what your top 4 or 5 guys are going to do, whether it's on football or baseball. In baseball, the guys that bat 7, 8, 9, those are the ones that are going to win games for you because those are the ones that when you talk about some of these players maybe last year and this coming year, they might be young and not having a lot of playing time. But those are the ones who are going to win some games when somebody goes down and they have to come in or somebody's tired.
You always have some kids that are going to surprise you, you know?
Right.
Kids tonight, I mean, coach, after they watch the film, they, you know, look at this kid under the lights, how well he does. You know, so, like you said, those kids are going to help you win some ball games.
Right, right. And I think, you know, like I mentioned earlier, like I told Ethan, never played, I think he played 1 year of flag football when he was little. Never played, and, you know, he was, unlike his dad, who was built for speed, he was built for power. And played football and played freshman and then JV and then varsity. And I use him as an example. He wasn't God's gift to football as far as athletic, but he went to practice every day. Mm-hmm. He listened to what the coaches had to say. Yeah. He knew you could always depend on him. And finally worked his way up where he played a year in college at JU, actually won a conference ring. Kerwin Bell was the coach. But those are the guys you look for out there. Who's gonna do what they're supposed to be doing during the day in school? You know, you were an administrator for many, many years. You know, those kids you can work with. It may take a couple of years, but if you give me that kid with that attitude, head on straight, doing the academics, you can make a player out of it.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, there's kids that play from the heart. Right. It doesn't matter how big you are, you know. How fast you are. If you've got a heart in high school football, you can get on that field and play.
Right.
I remember this kid named Charlie Lester. He wasn't very big at all. Played at Merritt Island when I was coaching there. And he was an All-American outside corner. Wow. And he said he would knock your head off. He was a nasty defensive player, and just a great kid. And he worked at it, and he dedicated himself. So. And that's why I love coaching football. I love the game of football. It's just a great sport for any kid to get involved.
Right. You know, and that was one thing. Looks like we're getting ready to start up. You know, as you know, I was a dean at Delore, right next to Satellite for 6 years. And I talk to kids about getting involved in something. I don't care if it's a sport, band, drama. What's the singing group you have over at Satellite that everybody tries to get? Something Tones.
Yeah.
Everybody tries to get involved in.
Yeah.
I said, get involved in something.
Oh, yeah.
But don't think that all the superstars are already over there.
Exactly.
Don't think you can't play football or baseball or be in the band, you know. It may take a couple of years,
right?
But
right.
Don't get discouraged because you think you don't have. I mean, again, I use my son, I use my daughter. Played a sport. Your daughter played a sport they never played. Won 3 district championships.
Bill, I've seen so many kids that, you know, once they got into the sport, their grades improved, their conduct improved, and they feel better about themselves.
I agree.
And they're successful in life. I mean. I'm the same way. I always tell kids, get involved. Get involved in something in school.
Clubs.
It's going to be the most fun of your life, high school. Your high school career. So have some fun.
Right. You know, and you bring up a great point. And I know you played sports. I was blessed that I had a Spanish teacher that finally talked a 5'4", 130-pounder to go out for tennis. So I at least got to play a sport and earn my letter. But when you go to reunions, who do you gravitate towards those teammates? Those are your friends for life, whether you play whatever sport. Or if you're in the band, whatever you were involved in, that's who you go to. And actually a couple of the guys on my team were in my wedding. I mean, that's so, again, you and I are big on athletics, but I don't care if it's the music program. Our public schools has some phenomenal, they got a great band here, great music department. I don't care if it's a club. But, you know, like you said earlier, it gives you a purpose.
It does. It really does. And I think, you know, kids want to be part of a team. They want to be, whether it's band or chorus or bowling, swimming, whatever.
Anything.
Kids want to be part.
I agree. All right, so we're starting the third quarter. Let's see again. Look at that. We got a running play right up the bat. All right.
It's good defensive play there.
Yeah, it was a good defensive play. That was number 6. I think we called in. That's not Ethan, is it? Who was number 6 here? Number 6, or is that? That's not the one. Oh, Angel Stanley. Okay. All right, so now what do we got? We got 2 to the right.
I'm almost done with the international stuff.
2 to the right. We got 2 to the left.
No, I'm going to do that.
I still don't think I've seen a formation with more than 1 in the backfield, have we?
Yeah, I haven't either. Definitely a passing set.
Oh, look at there, another handoff right up the middle. Oh, this one he's got
Straight up the middle.
All right. Trying to catch him
little
off guard, I got him, but
5 yard.
defense was up for the task.
5 yard gain. I was nothing worried about that.
All right. So I'm trying to see, when they huddled up, I must have counted 9. So how many reps did we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm thinking we might have a couple MCOA, again, Mid-Coast Officials Association in training, and you know, I go back to back to the, well, not my age-wise, but when I was blessed to be the county athletic director, I've got a hold of every single Cape Coast Conference information there was, and you know, MCOA and Cape Coast Conference go back to the 60s.
Right.
So it's a great collaboration between 2 great groups. We're blessed that except for boys lacrosse, all of our sports are covered by MCO. A lot of counties don't have that.
They don't, and these guys, they come out and they do a really good job.
They do.
Really good job. I mean, it's, they do a really good job, and they put in their time. And
Sure they do.
like you said earlier, we need more officials. We need coaches.
Right.
It's a good opportunity for people to get out and experience what it is to spend time with kids and be a good role model and just have some fun with the kids.
Right.
I think some people would be surprised how much fun it can be if they just get out and do it and experience it.
And that is, I believe it's mcoa.org. Take a look. They need referees, umpires in all sports. And again, a great way to stay connected. Maybe you play the sport and you either want to get involved in coaching or referee. And again, if you go to the Brevard Public School website, click on careers. I don't think there's too many schools that don't have openings for coaches. So nice long pass. Oh, again.
Overthrown.
Oh, a flag. Oh. Again, I think that was something they're going to have to work on, but you need those wide receivers to catch that ball in stride versus having, anytime you got to come back, somebody else is coming back with you.
Yeah, it was kind of short pass there. You can get you.
And it could be timing. Maybe he needs to throw it sooner, before he gets to that spot.
Yeah, that's a good time in the spring to get all the bugs out.
Right.
See where you need to work. See what you need to work on in the summer. Coach, offensive coordinators, he's looking at different plays.
Right.
He's not going to run all these plays in the fall. He's going to throw out some that just not very good play that doesn't work. So you look like you got trips right.
You got 1 on the left or 2? I can't tell.
Got 1.
Just 1.
Yeah.
Empty backfield.
Empty backfield. Let's have a tight end. No,
I was going to say, you got a tight
slot.
end. I see a slot guy. Yeah, on the left.
Slot on the left. Trips on the right.
Looks like you see him. Just throw one early and let them go under and get it. There you go, a little draw play. That offensive line was not fooled whatsoever.
Yeah, it's like that was a design play there with the quarterback keeping it up the middle, draw.
Right. And again, I think you're right there. It's good to have game time type atmosphere, but until you hit somebody with a different jersey on, it's not quite the same.
Yeah. That's why I like playing against other teams in the Jamboree to see what you got.
I like the Jamboree setup. It gives everybody a chance to play a couple. You're still playing a whole game,
right?
And you're playing 2 different. I'm excited, just like we were tonight, to go tomorrow. A little fumble on there. Yep. That defense is at 76.
Oftentimes coaches don't like to play a Jamboree because they're young and inexperienced. So, I don't see that the case here. I see some pretty good athletes out there on the field.
That was Ezra Torres, number 76. Nice little stop. Yeah, this white defensive line has played a pretty good set of downs up to first few minutes in this third quarter.
Sure have.
There we go, right over the middle. Nice pass. Caught him in stride. I think he's going to outrun everybody. It certainly looks that way. And just like that, there's a touchdown. Just like we were talking about. Caught him in stride. Never slowed down. And went the whole way.
Laser beat from Hinkle to White for 6 points.
Very nice. That was probably the prettiest pass we've seen all day.
Yeah, had a good spiral, good, nice and tight pass there, hitting his receiver in stride. Yeah, beautiful pass. Coach is going to be happy about that one for sure.
So we're going to go for a little extra point here. I don't know why all of a sudden this brings back memories when that goalpost used to be on the goal line.
Yeah.
Finally, somebody got some brains and said, "Yeah, we got to move that baby back."
Yeah,
people were running into it, and
yeah, people got hurt on that thing.
I mean, kickers might have been the only ones that didn't like that.
Yeah,
but I think everybody else was pretty happy to not have to worry about that thing right on the goal line running into it.
Yeah, you look at some of the old games on YouTube,
Oh.
Vince Lombardi and all these games. Yeah, you can see a lot different back in the day.
Pretty much, with the leather helmets and.
Yeah,
There you go. Nice kick.
It is good.
Very good.
very good kick.
I'm thinking, let me look here real quick here. I think I saw a stat which I thought was pretty amazing on their scoring. Let's see, points after. Yeah. So point after kicking attempts was 48. They made 43, so about 90%, which, you might say, well, you should hit every PAT. Well, look at the pros.
Yeah.
They moved him back. I think now it's a 33-yard field goal.
Yeah.
There's not too many guys in the pros that get every single point
Yeah,
after.
it's
So
it's a different
last year they
challenge,
got,
isn't it?
Yeah, 97% or 90%. So that's pretty good. Again, we talked about it earlier. 16 rushing touchdowns last year, 31 receiving. Very balanced, 188 yards passing, 133 rushing. So haven't quite seen that balance today.
Right.
But again, they might have a new slew of running backs and just something they'll work over this summer. All right, so.
Double slot.
Yeah.
One thing I'm noticing here, I would, unless coach isn't showing everything, he's going to have to show a few different sets, with motion. In the trips,
Right, a couple guys in the back.
He's going to have to do something, because if he's just going out there and double slot every time, a good defensive coordinator is going to shut him down.
And I'm like you. I'm sure he's not showing everything today. And,
Yeah.
and again, a lot of it might be new that they're not ready to run.
Right, that's a
they've got
possibility.
I used to tell kids when the NFL drafts the college students, and I would tell kids when I was teaching, do you know what the first test they give them is? And they didn't know. I said, well, it's an IQ test. I mean,
Right.
they've got playbooks that are 5 inches
yeah.
thick. They've got to have guys that know it's not just a little wristband.
It's pretty complex.
It is. And I still to this day, I mean, I don't know, I guess Lyman, will yell out 63-23, and Ethan as an offensive lineman knows what hole that, I have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah, it's pretty complex, so you got to have some smarts about you to run it.
So we got
Cooley is back to pass.
a nice.
Do it out in the flats there.
Yeah. Ooh. I should have done that to his teammate. He pushes him around.
Exactly.
You guys are having breakfast tomorrow together. You got to be careful.
Yeah.
That was Angel Stanley that was supposed to have been the recipient of that.
And getting back to showing different sets as a defensive coordinator, the more sets you have to work on in practice, the more difficult you make it on the defensive side of the ball.
Right.
So, I mean, I would be showing trips, double slot,
Right.
motion into trips.
Right.
But just a double slot is easy to work on for your defense.
Again, you've got the football knowledge. I had the luxury of eating bonbons and drinking a soda up in the press box, calling the games for Rockledge. So year to year, and I've heard this expression before, sometimes you build that game plan around your talent.
Right.
And looking ahead to tomorrow night when we're going to be at Titusville, first game's at 6 with MCC, Titusville, and Cocoa Beach. When you're a combined 1-29, I'm thinking those three coaches are going to look with the talent and build the play call around what they have.
Oh, exactly. You got to develop your offense around the talent you have. hopefully that'll work for you.
Right.
I mean, like I said, we ran the wishbone at Cocoa,
Right.
but we had a talent. We had a fullback that weighed 255 pounds,
Wow.
and some backs that could run with a great quarterbacking kid named Chris Hall, who played
Sure.
at Florida State.
Yep, I remember Chris.
So we had the talent to do it.
Right.
So I'm assuming here at Satellite, they think they can throw the ball. They got a good quarterback, got a couple good receivers. So that's what the coaches are thinking.
So was Chris one of those athletes you played both ways, or did you play him in different positions on offense, or did he play defense too?
He played a little bit of defense, very little.
Oh, nice tackle.
Because if Chris Hall went down, Doug Cook was going to be fired. So I was afraid he would get hurt on defense.
Right.
He was a great kid. I mean, he wanted to play defense.
Right.
But we put him in some different situations.
That was number 50, Noah Ostrander, if I pronounced that right, on the tackle. Now, I don't know, again, if this is the same defensive line we watched at the end of the first half, but if it is, they're playing some pretty good ball tonight.
Oh, they are. I'm impressed
They
with
haven't
the,
let too many, get through. I think the black team has had a couple of interceptions, but the white hasn't given up too much as far as down the middle or run game.
Yeah, they seem to be pretty tough there on the interior of the defensive line here for the white team. Of course, you got that big number 71 in there, I believe it is.
Right. Nice catch. Nice catch.
Great catch.
Boy, that was and again, there was another perfect pass, caught him in stride. That was Izzy Montanez, number 5, stretched out for that. And that's something you don't see a lot of kids do, even in college. And maybe I'm using the wrong term, is give up their body.
Right.
He knew, forget about running, forget about I got to get the ball. And he did what he needed to do to catch the ball.
Well, he knew he was going to get hit coming across the middle.
Oh, yeah.
Receivers really don't like that pattern, but he knew he was going to get hit.
Yeah, that was a great catch. That was, he laid out for that. You can't score a touchdown if you don't catch it, and that's your first priority. So, nice catch. Nice throw.
Nice
Again,
catch.
Another nice throw. Caught the receiver in stride, didn't have to come back for the ball, and you had a good result. All right, so he's back here, left-handed throw. Did he get it or no? Nope. So that's number 12 playing at quarterback. I'm going to find his number on this sheet.
Yeah, the white defense is doing a good job
Sure
here
are.
tonight. I know Coach Robinson's going to be happy with them.
Trying to find number 12 here. Where are you? I'm probably looking right over it. That's what happens when you get my age. So did you ever have a left-handed quarterback?
Never.
I don't guess
had
there's
one.
that much advantage like there is a left-handed pitcher or a left-handed catcher. I'm not sure a left-handed quarterback really.
Well, there was a great one at Florida a few years ago. I'm sure you remember.
Yep.
Timmy
Yep.
Tebow.
Sure was.
So it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think in football it's not it's not like boxing. You're not used to seeing left-handed, but no, that young man's had a couple of nice passes, and maybe they talked about that at halftime, either getting rid of the ball earlier to catch the guy 20 yards down the field instead of 30. But he's hit a couple of strides. Oh, nice rush! Wow, that's.
Nobody blocked him.
No,
He came right in.
Yeah, that's 41. Alan Steffen, 41, linebacker, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
offensive
that
line
might have
stuff.
been the line. 2 guys went left instead of
Yeah,
one guy.
I just let that boy come right in there, and didn't get blocked. So coach is not going to be happy on that one.
And not to pick on the offensive lineman, as a dad of an offensive lineman, sometimes they're doing their job. They might have just messed up how they were going to run the play.
That
They
could
might have
be.
gone the right way, actually.
Yeah.
So
sometimes it's not their fault.
I know Coach Wood, great coach from Rockledge that won 2 state championships. He was actually Ethan's offensive line coach, and I'll never forget at the banquets he'd always say, only 2 people love the offensive lineman, their mamas and their coach.
Well, that's true. They don't get their name in the paper.
They don't, but it's all in the trenches.
It is. Yeah, unfortunately, they don't get their name in the paper, and
No.
but they, that's where the ball game's won or lost in the trenches.
Right. And again, for those that are still watching, once I get home tonight, I'll post a video on the YouTube channel Press Box Overtime. It will still be on the Facebook group, but if you want to go back and watch and listen, it's easier to find on the YouTube channel. And then again, tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, we're going to be up in Titusville. I'm looking forward to seeing our good friend Jay Burley, the athletic director up there. Again, one coach that's finishing his first year and 2 brand new coaches. So a lot of excitement. I know Coach Brzezinski's been posting it from MCC on Twitter about doing a whiteout. So I'd love to see a big crowd tonight watching those 3 teams.
Oh, yeah, that'd be, I'm sure you're going to have a good turnout. I'm excited about it too.
I am too. It's and again, with this weather, it feels like fall. So we're blessed to have. I think my daughter, North Carolina, was actually warmer than we were yesterday, which is unusual. But
yeah, and they got in Titusville. They got some good places to eat, and also got a place called Eckler's Corvette.
Oh,
I've got to pick up a part for my '96 Corvette if it's in. I'm not sure. It wasn't in today, so. If it's in, I'm going to slide by Eckler's.
And they've been up there how long? I think back when I was in high school, maybe.
A long time.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, but they're not on US 1 anymore.
No.
They moved from that location.
Yeah, they're away from that. That used to be a neat showroom there for Eckler's Corvette.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time in there when I was working on my '69 Corvette, which I still have, by the way.
You know, I grew up in Cocoa, and I am very glad to see, because Titusville, you know, for a while it just wasn't much up there, but they've redone that mall area. Like you said, a lot of nice restaurants up there, housing, because the space program is coming back. It's nice to see Titusville, the city itself, kind of stepping up their game, and it's really becoming a place to go to.
Yeah, I mean, it's so far away from us, you know.
Right, being beachside.
We don't get up there much, but a good friend of mine, Terry Humphrey, used to live up there. He coached with me at Cocoa, was the principal at Astronaut High School.
Right.
Him and his dad, I used to go up there and visit them.
Yeah.
So
now he got back into coaching, didn't he? Up in Georgia or something?
Yeah, he's coaching in Georgia now.
Good for him. Great guy.
Really
Used to be the
guy.
Cape Coast Conference commissioner, I think, and then Gary Schifrin, I think, took it over.
Quarterback keep.
Oh man, I tell you what, that white D line, they are man. Nice,
That's a nice lick there, nice lick.
No, he didn't.
And again, listen, offensive line. I learned from Ethan. That's a tough. I mean,
it's hard.
It just takes one wrong move, and somebody's got a free rein.
It's hard. I tell you what, when you got as a defense coordinator, you got so many different stunts coming.
Right.
They can get very confused because. I learned from the great Gerald Odom and Gerald Hodgins at Merritt Island. I interned there and then stayed there and coached. But there's so much you can do with that defensive line that confuses the offensive lineman.
All right, so we got the one in the backfield. Hand off. Nice little block. Goes around the end. Look at this. He's got some speed. He's shifted on his right hand. Nice run. Picked up about 18 yards. Very good. Good blocking by the offensive line. You know, it's for all those that like stats, like Doug and I do. If you go to Max Preps, type in Satellite High School, pick the sport, you can actually go back 10, 15 years and look at stats. And so I was looking at stats from last year. And one good thing is, and I don't know how they get this, they look at national average too. So when looking at defense, tackles per game, national average was 47. Satellite was at 81.6. 81.6.
Wow.
So again, that same guy now got the ball. Nice tackle, one-on-one, little swarm going there. Tackles for loss, 25 a game, which is huge.
Wow.
2.5 sacks a game, 8 quarterback hurries. So again, defense, did a lot for their success last year, and at least for this white team, we're seeing some of that tonight.
Yeah, we picked up some good coaches out of Georgia. I retired in 2020 at Satellite High School, and they've picked up some coaches from Georgia. They really know the game.
Sure.
So very impressed with their coaching ability. And I think Robinson also is out of Georgia.
I have to look. Let me see. But he was a head coach. I don't know why I want to say Lake Weir. Let me find out.
White up the middle.
You put me on the spot there, Coach. Let me see. Here we go.
you got good coaches coming out of Georgia.
Oh, you know what? I'm glad that you mentioned that because that's
Okay.
one of my little tidbits that I'm going to throw out there.
just
So
tie
Coach
in there.
Robinson attended McIntosh County Academy in Darien, Georgia.
There you go.
And then he went and played at LaGrange College.
Huh.
Now, why I'm familiar with LaGrange, he was a quarterback from 2009, 2012. LaGrange was actually one of the schools that recruited Devin, my daughter, to play lacrosse there. Beautiful campus, kind of out in the middle of nowhere. She ended up playing at Greensboro College, but LaGrange, ironically, was in their conference. So she played them each year, and 2 years, of course, we traveled to LaGrange. But a nice little school, nice little stadium. And but you're right, that's where Coach Robinson played football, was up there, and then played at LaGrange College, D3. And getting back to last year, a couple of years ago, he had an offense here at Satellite that scored 296 points, 37 points a game. And of course, Gage Malkin, All-State honorable mention, with 123 quarterback rating. I mean, that's like, I didn't.
Too shabby, huh?
You start getting into triple digits, you did something. So,
Sure have.
again, Coach Robinson brings a lot to the plate, teaches here at Satellite, and I'm sure they're blessed that to have him in that position. Oh, look at there, right up the middle. Yeah, I love the way he held that ball.
Tackled by Mitchell Barton, number 11.
So that's number 16. Number 16 with the ball. That is, let me find him here. I know I've called that name before. No, I haven't. Neelan Knacker Giles. So nice run. And again, we've seen that out of, it must be something coaches, they've all wrapped that ball up with two hands.
Yeah, I mean that.
Like that Nottingham guy
yeah.
that played at Miami, and just right up the middle.
Well, you know, they attack the ball when they make the tackle now, you know, in high school and college, of course.
Bradley, immediately in the backfield.
Number 76 that got in there first.
Gosh,
Oh,
man.
they really did. Oh, man. I want to see him run it all the way back. That was Harlan Teat. That reminds me, I'm sure you've seen that. They get those shot putters. They do the big man relay at the track meets. I love
Yeah,
watching
I've seen those.
guys
Yeah,
run.
those poor guys. They're not used to running
And
that.
that's one of the most exciting races to watch is the big man relay. That was a nice number 76. Got in there pretty quick. Almost got the handoff.
Nope, we're going to let the offense keep it.
All right, so
Yeah, that should have been a turnover,
now we're in
right?
the
They
fourth
say you
quarter.
didn't
All
fumble.
right, that's what it shows.
Oh, okay.
5 minutes left. Again, what'd you call it? A structured? What was it?
Yeah, it's a structured scrimmage.
Structured
A little bit of
scrimmage.
forward progress on
And
that play.
you see the coaches down there with the headset, so I'm sure they're talking to coaches on the side.
Yeah, it's controlled by the coaches,
Yeah.
you know, and the umpires, of course. But
Right. And again, hats off to the NCOA. I see a few extras, so that could be some that are in training, maybe getting their feet wet. So this is a great opportunity for both the players and the coaches and the officials. Again, we got one in the backfield. Pulls it out. Nice pass.
That's White. Oh, he
Did he
couldn't
catch
hang
it? No. A little bit behind him.
yeah, White couldn't hang on to that
It's a little
ball.
tough left-handed throw into his right and the receiver coming towards the ball. It's a little, that
Yeah,
takes
it's
a
a
little
little,
timing.
yeah, a little timing on that. That's, you know, that's one thing they're working on too, Bill. They're working on timing and you know, making adjustments. But you know, like I said, the coaches will watch the film. They'll work on this in the summer,
Right.
and get these boys ready for a fall season.
Yeah. So we got trips to the right. We got number 10 out here by himself. On the left, lining up as wide receiver. And that is Story Coates. Well, that's another good name. We got some good names
Yeah,
out there
sure
for
do.
football players.
Yeah, I like them.
Pass over to Miles.
A little bit behind him. Nice little juke there. Number 7 going up the sideline. Another little stiff arm. Ooh, nice tackle right there.
Got a little flare pass out there to the right. Good little pickup.
So number 7 with the catch. And number 4 on the tackle. Number 4 is C.J. Benson. Nice little open field tackle. And that was Miles Hinkle with the catch and run. So So again, clock going down about. Well, they actually do have a score up there, 20-0. I'm not sure.
Not sure how they're doing that,
I
but
don't either, but they know more about that than we do. Again, nice crowd. I'm going to say about 250, maybe a little bit more. Got the cheerleaders. I'm sure we got the concession stand open, and again, you build some excitement. Parents hopefully are out here watching their kids play.
yeah, it's a good time. Good time for the parents to come out and see the kids, and
Yep.
and just start getting that football spirit going.
Yep, exactly. Listen, two old guys like us, we're going to wake up. It's going to be August tomorrow, so we might think we got a lot of time left, but holy mackerel.
You're right about that.
Yes.
And I'm getting excited about Gator football with a new coach up there. Just I want to see what they can do. I watched some of the spring game, broke some of it down. I think we got some decent talent.
Good.
I think they still have a lot to work on, but I'm excited about it.
Well, I don't want to get my hopes up, and no offense to our Seminole or Knights or Hurricanes. They've got Archie Manning's grandson that's supposedly the next coming of a quarterback. Supposedly Florida's in the running. I don't think that's going to happen. I just don't.
Yeah.
Whether King Saban, looks in.
I think that's where he's going to go.
I'm hearing LSU a little bit. But when I get home today after school, getting ready for the broadcast, flipped on the SEC because Florida is actually hosting the girls softball tournament, and Mississippi State and Tennessee were 0-0 in the 11th inning.
I tell you what, I love watching softball.
Man, Tennessee finally pulled it out in the 13th inning.
Hand off to Corella, right up the middle, met immediately.
Very nice.
I love watching girls softball. It's just really,
Yeah, it's I think Florida's
it's a lot of fun to watch. I know.
Push back a little bit later, but and again, we talked about this earlier. What do you want to accomplish tonight in an atmosphere like this? I think a lot of kids have gotten some playing time. We've seen 3 or 4 different quarterbacks, several hundred people. And I tell you what I really like. I see students in the stands.
Yeah, you see students. It's like interception.
Oh man!
Can he run it back?
There he goes. Got to switch hands.
Oh, nice shot. Tackle finally by
Let me see. I think
Corella.
Six has intercepted one already before. Angel
16,
Stanley.
yeah,
I want to
that
say that
name,
might
yeah.
be his second.
Yeah, he's got a nose for the ball, Bill.
Freshman stepping up to be a
Good
sophomore
for him.
this year.
Jeez.
But another thing to say here about the coaches, this is a brand new head coach.
Right.
And you can bet that he's nervous. He's got to put a good product on the field in the fall. And, he's coming. We're coming off a popular coach,
Right.
Coach Kimmy.
Right.
Kids loved him. He's a winning coach. You got a new coach coming in here from a winning program that you got to carry on. So he's nervous, and he knows he's got to work hard and get these kids ready.
I think one thing that's probably a positive, like we said earlier, he was assistant coach last year, so he knows what that culture is. He knows what it is that you need to do to get kids interested in football here at Satellite Beach, because not every school is the same.
No.
But I think having
Oh,
somebody that was a big part of their success as the OC and cornerbacks coach, and I'm going to guess carry on that same
And a receiver with ankle. Good
coaching
call.
style, I think is a plus.
Yeah, I think he is. Like you said, he was the OC last year, right?
Right.
So they ran the ball or
Right.
passed the ball a lot. They did have a little bit of a running game. It was fairly balanced.
Right.
But he knows these kids. He's been here long enough. He knows the beach kids.
Right.
Beach kids are a little different than the
Sure,
mainland kids,
sure.
as you and I both well know. But I think got an opportunity to have a good season with some of this talent I see.
So I have to brag a little bit. At my age, I actually did remember. I was right. He was a head coach, offensive coordinator at Lake Weir High School. So when you say, what am I doing up at 3 or 4 in the morning, this is all going through my head.
Yeah, no, I get up to take my dog out, and I just check my mail, and you're on there.
Yeah, nice run.
You're online. You're online at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm saying this guy never sleeps.
Going through our step by step. However, from 2017 to 19, head coach, offensive coordinator, and actually led the Lake Weir Hurricanes to their first playoff win in the school's 64-year history. So if you could take a team to their first win in 64 years,
That's good
I got a lot of
credentials.
confidence that he could take a 10-3 team, carry on that same culture, that same coaching style,
Yeah.
and be successful. And you know, one thing I think you can also say about Satellite from last year is, and again, I think Merritt Island, I think the first time they played, it was like close in the third quarter. You know, they won the games that they're supposed to have won last year, and even some more, like Mel High.
Right,
And if
yeah.
you win the games you're supposed to win, you're going to win some of the ones that maybe you're not predicted to win.
Exactly.
And I think they made it all the way to the regional final. And
That was a great win. I can't remember the last time we beat the Bulldogs at Melbourne.
well, and again, certainly not taking anything away from the win. That was a different Bulldog team at the end of the season.
Sure was.
All right, so what do we got here? We're trying to put another one in about the 10-yard line, handoff up the middle, coming outside. Oh, look at it, shakes a few off.
Fighting for every yard. That's the end of the game.
Is that it?
Wrap it up, folks.
Wow,
Good run there.
that is a good one.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming
I
out.
hear the whistle blow. I didn't know if there was an infamous second left on the clock or not.
Yeah, it looks like I think the kids had a really good time here. The parents in the stands having a good time. Cheerleaders.
Right.
Just a great night. Beautiful weather. Just absolutely gorgeous.
Pull out, let's see. Pull out the schedule for the fans. So I don't think, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So they do have a preseason game, I guess Kickoff Classic is what you call it. August the 19th, they're going to be playing Palm Bay, which
Okay.
last year was a district game.
Right.
But now Palm Bay and Titusville have moved down to 2S, suburban. And then their first game of the season, I mean, here's their first 4 games. At Heritage, playoff team. At Vieira, even though they
Be a
were
tough
5 and
game.
5 last year, Vieira's still tough. Melbourne High at home. Melbourne's going to remember that 13-7 loss.
Oh, yeah, tough
And then their first district game is O'Galley here. So they start off with 4. We'll know pretty quick, where Satellite is trending. And then they've got Astronaut, they've got Bayside, Seabreeze. That could be a fun game. I think anytime you play Seabreeze or Mainland, even though Seabreeze was 7 and 5 last year, I think they lost. I think they were 1 and 1 maybe in the playoffs.
Now, did the head coach from Cocoa go to Seabreeze?
New Smyrna.
New Smyrna,
Yeah,
okay.
because actually, hats off to John Wilkinson. Great guy. He was athletic director at Cocoa. Lived in New Smyrna, coming to Cocoa every day.
Right.
And then finally, when his son got to high school age, he wanted to go up there and coach his son. And hats off to John's son. He is going to the, oh gosh, now I'm going to He's going to West Point.
Oh, is he?
Full ride, play football. Yeah, so congratulations to young Mr. Wilkinson. And again, I'm sure, as somebody who coached my daughter here playing lacrosse, that's special when you can coach your kid.
Oh, yeah, it sure is. Yeah.
Now you coach from the sidelines, I know, when your
Yeah.
kids were playing.
Well, I coached my kids in Little League
Right,
and
right.
AAU travel ball. We did that in
Right.
baseball, but it is a special thing we get that opportunity.
So I think one thing, we're going to turn this camera around and give some last little remarks. First of all, we've hit a milestone. We did not run out of power.
Yeah, that's
now we did
great.
have a blitz. I don't know what caused
That
the
new tech guy we hired.
I don't know what caused it to go. We lost coverage there for a little while, but power, we're still at 76. I think we're going to be in good shape tomorrow night. So again, it looks like you still a couple of us watching. We hope you enjoyed it. Again, it was a structured scrimmage. But to me, I think it was a success just by what happened on the field and looking at the stands.
Oh yeah, I mean it was a good opportunity for the coaches to see the talent for next year, and just a fun time for the kids and good time for us, to get some bugs out of our production here, and for the fall as well.
Well, like I said, we hit a milestone. We didn't run out of power. We still have a battery pack left over. And again, just to remind the Satellite fans, First game, kickoff classic, is going to be at Palm Bay. Last year it was a district game. This year it's not. Palm Bay dropped down to 2S, where Satellite is 3S. And then the first full game is going to be at Heritage. First home game is not going to be until September 9th. And again, against Melbourne, they beat them 13-7 last year. Melbourne might be looking for some payback.
That should be a good turnout. It's going to be here at Satellite High School,
Here,
so
first
it'll
home
be
game.
a good turnout.
Right.
Satellite always brings out a great crowd. The band playing and
Right.
cheerleaders cheering.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, I'm getting excited about it.
Oh yeah, yeah, me too. And again, to have 200 and maybe 50 fans here tonight for an intra-squad game, I think that Melbourne brings a good crowd too.
Oh, they will. They
So
bring a good crowd.
the good thing is you won't have to set up that night.
Right, I'll just be up here.
Maybe we'll be up here
talking
doing the
about it.
game. Who knows?
Yeah, it'll be fun.
So for the Satellite fans, when I get home, I'm going to post this on YouTube, Press Box Overtime. So in case you want to watch or listen to the commentary, it's easier to find the video than going to Facebook. And again, we certainly hope you join us. And I want to reiterate something that something that I've told the fans on my Twitter account. You know, we hope tomorrow night that the MCC, Cocoa Beach, Titusville fans go to the game and then listen to us do the broadcast. You know, it's kind of like when I'm watching sometimes the Gators play. I'll turn the sound down and listen to Mick Hughes.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, that's the way you do it. You listen to him on the radio.
You got to.
So we certainly want fans to pack Titusville High tomorrow. But first game's at 6. Again, it's going to be a jamboree. Bonus football, 3 teams, 3 halves, and 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and 8 o'clock. And we'll probably get on about 5:45. So before they lock up, any last words?
No, I'm impressed with some of the talent I've seen here at Satellite, and it's good to get back in the stadium.
It is,
Haven't
yeah.
been here in a while.
You're in your wheelhouse tonight,
I'm
aren't
in
you?
my wheelhouse, yes.
So for Press Box Overtime, I'm Bill Maharis.
Doug Cook.
We appreciate you watching. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Good luck to all the students with 2 more weeks of school. And we hope you join us tomorrow night about 5:45 live on Press Box Overtime from Titusville High School. Enjoy your evening. Thanks for watching.